Three things, actually. So in regard to that, there's a lot of times I go, what? I don't get it, right? Well, first of all, consider there's a couple of factors, right? But the first answer I give you is I would get someone else, 2 or more people to agree with you. Okay, that's the first thing. 2 or more people to agree with you. Okay, then here's the next thing. It still doesn't happen, or even in that setting, here's what I would do. Okay, Lord, what do we do? Are we barking up the wrong tree? Is this, here's the bottom line, what Jesus prayed. Not my will, but your will be done. Lord, is this something I think you want, or is this something you actually want, or is this not the timing? So Holy Spirit, will you please show me, am I barking up the wrong tree? Are my expectations? There's a lot of expectations I have, and I say don't have any because you get disappointed in terms of how you think that's going to happen. For example, a classic I think we've all done, or I've done, is like you kind of picture how this is going to go, and you think that's faith. Oh, yeah, I see the Lord doing this, and this is going to happen this way, and we declare it, we believe it, and all that. And then it doesn't turn out like that, and you kind of go, well, that's supposed to happen. We believe, we had faith, right? And there was no problem on the faith end. It's that you somehow imagined how it was going to go. And one thing that God is famous for is absolutely not doing it your way, and in a way that completely, just don't even plan on it turning out the way you envisioned it. I mean, that's rare, okay? Now, in terms of obedience, yeah, you obey exactly what he tells you to do in the way that he says to do it, if you're instructed in that way. But I just would, and there's a lot of people that use this language, and again, this is one of those things I don't know exactly what people mean when they say, hey, I'm believing for this. I go, do they mean I keep believing and hoping and using my faith that that's going to happen? Or is that belief based on something that God has said? And part of my quest in this is I was praying about this, and the Lord led me to the faith chapter, and I go, I don't know that chapter. But I go, no, I got to go there and look. Here was my question. I'd never thought about this before, but was in this thing. Do we just okay, well, I believe that my hair is going to grow back. I don't, by the way. I mean, I would like to believe. And I wanted to, but that's something I can pick. I believe my hair is going to grow all back. I'm going to have that long, beautiful hair that I used to have, and I'm going to be 20 again, too. I can believe for those things. Or, I mean, even something more spiritual, I don't know, more than my hair. I don't know. But no, so something spiritual or like my son's going to be in the ministry, or something like that, Now, I'm believing for that. And it may be even a really good thing. But is it warranted by something God said? And when you go to the faith chapter, I want you to check this out yourself. I went back and checked every example he gave. And you know what? By faith, Abraham went to a land he didn't know about, even though he didn't know where he was going. By faith, Noah built this ark, even though it had never rained. By faith, Abraham offered his son Isaac, reckoning that God would even raise him from the dead. Why? Every one of those stories is predicated by the fact that God had spoken to them in advance. Noah built the ark. See, the one thing was certain. He was sure that it was God. As weird as it was, he knew it was God. And that's the first objective. What does God say? Is this really you? And from his word we know, but then we have to consider, Lord, is this what you mean in your word? Right? So people say, oh, the blessing of Abraham is for us, and they interpret that now as meaning some kind of financial prosperity. Really? I'm not sure you can interpret it that way. You can try. But I don't know if it's in the cards. I think you might find up being disappointed in terms of what's your vision of prosperity, having your needs met or being wealthy in a North American sense, in terms of famous, rich, whatever. So there's a lot of things like that I don't know, but find out what God says and discern it with 2 others. And then I always ask, well, Jesus, what should I do? What's your plan on this? And then I get around gifted people. And I want to get around objective people that don't really care either way about something I'm praying about or what I want. They're not involved emotionally with me. All they know is I can trust them to hear from God.